Once again, you're most welcome to 9 Facts UG. Today in this video, I'm going to show you the top 9 greatest African men of all time. But don't forget that this video is brought to you by Lucky National Primary School, located in Muwai, Bujiri District, along Busia, Jinja, Kampala Road. Number 9. Lucky Dube. Lucky Philip Dube was born on 3rd August 1964. Was a South African reggae musician and a Rastafarian, considered to be one of the most important musicians in the history of African music and one of the most greatest reggae musicians of all time. However, on 18th October 2007, Lucky Dube was killed by armed robbers in Centerville. This was after him dropping 2 of his 7 children off to their uncle's place. During this process, 5 men were arrested in connection with the murder, and this makes Lucky Dube one of the greatest African men of all time. Number 8. Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa was the 9th king of Mali Empire, which reached its territorial peak during his regime. Musa is known for his wealth and gift-giving and has sometimes been called the wealthiest person in history. His riches came from the mining of significant gold and sought deposits in the Mali Empire, along with the slave and ivory trade. Musa's death was not certain, but it said that this gentleman would have died in the year 1332. And when discussing about the top 9 greatest African men of all time, Mansa Musa takes position 8. Number 7. Patrice Lumumba. Patrice Emery Lumumba was born on 2nd July 1925 and killed on 17th January 1961, just 1 year after Congo getting her independence. He was a Congolese politician and independent leader who served as the first Prime Minister of the Democratic Republic of Congo from June until September 1960. He was also a member of Congolese National Movement, of which he led from 1958 until his execution in January 1961. And when listing the top 9 greatest African men of all time, Patrice Lumumba takes position 7. Number 6. Kwame Nkuruuma of Ghana. Kwame Nkuruuma was born on 21st September 1909 and died on 27th April 1972. Was a Ghanaian politician, political theorist, and a revolutionary. He was also the first Prime Minister and as well the first President of Ghana, having led the Gold Coast to the independence from the Britain in 1957. Nkuruuma was a founding member of the Organization of African Unity and the winner of the Lenin Peace Prize from the Soviet Union in 1962. Nkuruuma was instrumental in the creation of the headquarters of the Organization of African Union in Addis Ababa in 1963. He also opposed entry of African states into the common market of the European Economic Community. And when discussing about the top 9 greatest African men of all time, Nkuruuma takes the 6th position. Number 5. Thomas Sankara. Thomas Isidore Noel Sankara was born on 21st December 1949 and murdered on 15th October 1987. Sankara was a Burkinabe military officer, Marxist revolutionary, and Pan-Africanist who served as the president of Burkina Faso from his coup in 1983 to his deposition and murder in 1987. His supporters viewed him as a charismatic and iconic figure of revolution, who was commonly referred to as Africa's Che Guevara. However, on 15th October 1987, Sankara was killed by an armed group with 12 other officials in a coup d'etat organized by his former colleague Blaise Compaoré. Number 4. Muammar al-Gaddafi. Colonel Muammar Mohammed Abu Minyar al-Gaddafi was born in 1942 and assassinated on 20th October 2011. He was a Libyan revolutionary, politician, and a political theorist. He was also the de facto leader of Libya from 1969 to 2011. And trust me or not, when we are discussing about the top 9 greatest African men of all times, Gaddafi cannot miss on this list. And on our list today, Gaddafi takes the 4th position. Number 3. Julius Nyerere. Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere was a Tanzanian anti-colonial activist, politician, and political theorist. He governed Tanganyika as Prime Minister from 1961 to 1962, and then as President from 1962 to 1964. But later Tanganyika changed to Tanzania, and he was the President from 1964 to 1985. He was also a founding member and the chairperson of Tanganyika African National Union Party, which later changed to Chama cha Mapinduzi. This was from 1954 to 1990. When discussing about the top 9 greatest African men of all times, Julius Kambarage Nyerere takes the 3rd position. Number 2. Wole Sonyika. Wole Sonyika, commonly known as Akinwande Oluwole Babatunde Sonyika, is a Nigerian born into Yoruba family in Abeokuta in the year 1954. He attended government college in Ibadan and the University of Leeds in England. Sonyika has been a strong critic of successive Nigerian and African at-large governments, especially the country's many military dictators, as well as other political tyrants, including the Mugabe regime in Zimbabwe. Sonyika is one of the strongest men in Africa, and on our list today of the top 9 greatest African men of all times, Sonyika takes the 2nd position. Number 1. Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was born on 18th July 1918 and died on 5th December 2013. He was a South African anti-apartheid activist who served as the first president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was the country's first black head of state and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election, and his government also focused on dismantling the legacy of apartheid by fostering racial reconciliation. It should be also remembered that Nelson Mandela served 27 years in prison, and this was done in 3 prisons, that is Robben Island, Portsmouth Prison, and Victor Verster Prison, and later in 1990 he was released by the then president F.W. de Klerk. Thank you very much for watching my YouTube channel. Don't forget to smash on the subscription button. I'm Shark. I sign out.